All right. Greetings to everybody that has tuned in today to Liberating Intelligence. We appreciate you watching. And, we appreciate you. We appreciate the support that you have given us. Now, as you know, the LAP acronym that we live by here at Liberating Intelligence, it stands for learning from our experiences, applying our knowledge, and pursuing our freedom. And today, who we have on the platform is Mr. Curtis Symonds, creator of the Hoop Magic Basketball Academy in Chantilly, Virginia, CEO and co-founder of HBCUGO.TV. He's held the position of ESPN's local advertising sales consultant and director of affiliate marketing for the Midwest region. He is also BET's former executive vice president of affiliate sales and affiliate marketing. In 1992, he became president and chief operating officer of BET Action and BET International. He also served as executive vice president of BET On Jazz in 1996. He held the position of COO for the Washington Mystics WNBA basketball team and served as the president of the T. Howard Foundation. He is also a recipient of the Vanguard Award for Marketing Excellence, the highest award for marketing in the cable industry. And last but not least, most importantly, he serves as the varsity assistant basketball coach and consultant at St. Paul VI Catholic High School with the current record of 17-3. Mr. Curtis Symonds, welcome.
You did some good homework on that, Clifton. I like that. You did very good homework on that. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me today.
Hey, we appreciate you coming. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to sit down and talk with us and to, just allow your intelligence to be liberated to the people so, that we can learn from what you've been through and your journey.
No problem. I hope I can help.
Yes, sir. So, just from what we just, the rundown that we just gave of your accomplishments, could you tell us, what is it? Because I work at the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm around kids every day of the week, and I'm around teens. What is it that you enjoy most about working with the youth?
Well, I think the main thing I learned when I was a young kid, man, is that my mother was a teacher, lived for 40 years at Central State University, where I also graduated from, and grew up on that campus. And through my followings of her at an early age, I always watched the way she gave back to the community. She was always active, not only in teaching, but also doing a lot of things from the high school to junior high to elementary schools to help young people improve their lives. And when I grew up, one of the things that she instilled in me was always giving back. And I guess one of the biggest chips for me, Clifton, is when I was coming up in high school, I really was a football lover to like the 8th grade year. And then I was a small guy. I was like a 5'5", 5'6", somewhere around there. And, because of my size, I had the heart, but because of my size, people looked at me and said, I don't know how much football he's going to get in high school. So I kind of switched over when I got in high school, went to basketball, and was cut every year. I was always the last guy to be cut every year. And going in my senior year, I just told my coach, I said, I'm going to continue to work on my game, but you're not going to stop me from playing college basketball. And I ended up playing 4 years of college basketball. So I knew then, right there, that I had the drive to guide myself. And so if I could do it to myself, certainly I can help do it to other people and have them guided in a way that they can improve on who they are, what they're about. And it's definitely the skills in the game of basketball. And so that was one of my real reasons, because that ship of not playing high school basketball by coaching not, it's like my giving back in my mental thing. It's like me playing, but instead I'm coaching, and that's kind of my motivation with these young people today to try to get them better. And that's really been my drive.
That's amazing. And one thing that you said that really stuck out to me was guidance. And, we can't do it on our own. Like, we all need help, and we all need somebody to to lead us down that path for us. And, you know, it's a major thing and amazing, you know, what you're doing for the youth out there.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, man. You know.
So you're from, if people don't know, Wilberforce, Ohio, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us more about the Wilberforce community and, you know, what it was like growing up there?
Well, it was very special for me because I actually was born in Bermuda, and I moved over because my mother taught at Central State University. She got her master's at Columbia University in New York. I came over to the States when I was 2 years old with my father. My mother was already here. And we basically, I guess they grew up on the campus, man. And Wilberforce University, in my growing up, was a very special place, man, because all my friends that I grew up with, man, we were very, very, still to this day, very close. I mean, you could go over to one person's house and the parents over there would treat you just like you were their sons, you know, and we very much loved each other because of that close-knitness. And it's carried over, man. And I view my upbringing in Wilberforce as very, very special, very, very special because everyone knew everybody. So it wasn't a way you could get away with anything in the community, you know, and they always supported you know, in all kinds of ways. And to this day, they still support me, even though we're all over the place now, all over the country as kids, or as adults rather. We're doing different things and doing some good things. A lot of folks are inspired to grow up in different ways. But the upbringing was special, man. It was just special because the community was just close-knit, man. Not like it is today. You could leave your house on lock. Today's world, you can't leave your house on lock. You know, you're scared somebody might walk in and take everything, you know. And it was just a network of folks that loved each other. That's the best way I could put it. You know?
That's amazing. That's amazing. And what it sounds like to me is Wilberforce lived by that saying that they say it takes a village.
Yeah, no question.
Yes, sir.
No, it was like that. And, you know, you got to look at the two universities, man. You have Central State University, which is a state school, and then you have Wilberforce University, a private school. And at one time, before me and you, it was just Wilberforce University. And it was one of the first Black HBCUs out there, you know, and then they split down the road in the 50s, you know. Became Central State and Wilberforce. But the history that is in those two universities is very impressive. And some of the people who have come out of those two universities is also impressive because people look at Wilberforce and say, it's just Wilberforce University, but they don't realize there's been great writers, been great actors, been great performers, great athletes, great politicians, you know, who all got their education and understanding at those universities.
Great. And that's some great information for us, being that we're in Black History Month. So thank you for that. And I got to do some more research on those people. Yes, sir. Now let me ask you this. So in the Wilberforce community, where I grew up, you know, it was a lot of, you know, playground basketball pickup games. Did y'all have a lot of those back in your day?
Well, it's funny you said that, man. We had a park called Lexington Park in Xenia, Ohio, which is like 2 miles from Wilberforce. And that Lexington Park was like the Rutgers for us, you know, out of New York. And so Lexington Park is where you made your name in basketball. And but my junior year in high school, I had made a pretty good name at Rutgers Park. That's why no one could understand why I didn't play in high school. You know, because I was pretty much a pretty good guy on that floor, you know. Yeah. But it was also a great grooming spot, man, because you play with guys like myself who didn't play high school basketball, but were damn very good street ball players, you know, and could really dice up the guys who were in the high school team easily. And I was one of those, you know. So, you know, you people respected you, and that's all that counted. You know, is that they respected your game, they respected, you know, what you brought to the table, and you know, it was the kind of part where after school, man, if you didn't get down, you know, we got out of school like, you know, 10 to 3. If you didn't get down there about 4 o'clock, you could be in that line trying to get on the floor, and if people didn't know you, you weren't getting picked, so you would wait on the line, you know. So it was where you really made your respect of the game. And I'm on a mission now because they have the city has let the park go. And it was in an area called the East End. When I was growing up, that's where the majority of the Black folks in Xenia were at. So I'm on a mission now, man, to recreate that court and bring it back this summer to the condition it used to be. That's one of my pushes.
That's great. That's great. And I'm quite sure a lot of that'll impact a lot of the youth out there too, being able to get back outside, because nowadays, they love them computers.
No, man, they don't. You don't get kids playing outdoors no more, man. That's a lost art on that Clifton. You can't get kids. Everybody wants that indoor air conditioning, the wood floors. Yeah. Nobody wants to play on the park. Nobody. When I was growing up, man, the park was your recognition, man. You wanted to go to other people's parks and make a statement. That was the game of basketball. Took your five somewhere else and you showed them exactly why you coming out of Lexington Park. But today's world, man, these kids, they don't want to play outdoors, man. And then, 90% of the kids today got like 25 trainers. You got a trainer for dribbling, you got a trainer for shooting, you got a trainer for passing. It's ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous. But it's a whole new world.
It is. Things have definitely changed.
For sure.
Now, we spoke about your childhood, and you said one of your childhood dreams was cutting grass.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: if things would have changed and went a different way, do you think you may have owned a lawn care company or something like that?
That's a funny thing you said that, man, because now lawn care has become so big of a business.
Yeah.
In a lot of different communities, especially in the one I used to live in, it might have, but I was one of the rare guys, Clifton, that knew in my mind early on that I wasn't staying in Wilberforce, Ohio. Wilberforce just wasn't big enough for me. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to get on the map, man. So I had to put myself in a situation where I was trying to develop my plan on how I was going to do that. And I was fortunate enough to get into the media business when I was 24 years old. And I ended up running the cable system in Xenia, where I grew up at 24, which was unheard of. Mm-hmm. And that was my start in the media business. And then I wanted to learn, after I learned how to build a cable system, I wanted to learn how to program a cable system. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to go work for a network like ESPN or other than Turner or MTV, something like that. So I had a lot of programmers calling on me because they had to have my network, my cable system in order to carry their services in order to drive. So I always would throw out, hey, man, is there any good openings that come up? Let me know. Mm-hmm. And a spot came up in Chicago at ESPN and kind of started my door to get open. It got me in a city where I love, Chicago, opened up a lot of doors for me to network with a lot of different people. And that was my start, man. And that opened my door to really where I am today. Yeah,
and you said you was when you started working at ESPN, you was 24. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you think so? At an age like that, you said it was very rare. Do you think that you were ready for that type of position?
Oh yeah, I mean today, one of the problems today is that with a lot of our young folks is that they're not aggressive, man. I was aggressive. I knew what I wanted, and. My mother had a personality, I think, that carried over to me and allowed me to know how to network with people and really build a relationship with people. And I was very comfortable in the room. I could be in a room with all white folks and I could control the room all the way. So I knew I had something. And probably the biggest chip that my first boss really gave me in the industry that I didn't pay attention to until later in life is that she said to me one day, she said, Curtis, she said, you got a personality that everyone picks up on, and you're going to go a long way because of that. And she was right on point. My personality has carried me tremendous. It's allowed me now to, this year I go in the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame in April.
Wow.
Because I think that was a big piece of it. I met a lot of people, and a lot of big people, the Ted Turners of the world, Bob Johnsons of the world, all the big wheels in every big spot. And they weren't no bigger than me at the end of the day.
Yes, sir. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations on that as well.
Thank you.
So speaking of your personality and your family, let's talk about your favorite vacation spot. Where you have family at? Bermuda. Mm-hmm. Could you tell us more about, why that's your favorite vacation spot and, how you still, I looked at your interview on historymakers.org, you say you still going back and you find new family when you go there.
Well, it's a funny story, Clifton, because when I was a younger age, I didn't like Bermuda that well because I didn't know it. I knew Ohio because that's where all my friends were at when I was younger. So from my mom we used to stay there every summer from 2 to 13. And I didn't know a lot of my cousins at that time, but I had a lot and I didn't know. So, being in Bermuda for 3 months, there's not a lot to do other than swim, eat, enjoy the family. That's basically what it is. Mom used to be on my bicycle, play a little basketball, go to somebody's friend's house. So it cut down my activity, actually. So I wasn't appreciative of Bermuda at an early age. Mm-hmm. So I told my mother, I stopped going after I was 13. I didn't go back until I was around 18. Then I could go to a couple of the clubs, do some other things. And I got to then know more of my family. And as I got to know more of my family, I started beginning to love Bermuda. And then I didn't really know how much people respected Bermuda outside of me. Every time I would mention somebody I was born in Bermuda, like, oh my God, the island with pink sand? You're from there? Like, yeah, what are you doing here? Like, well, that's basically my mom still lives here. That's why I'm here, And then I traveled around to other islands like Jamaica, Puerto Rico, and other islands. And then I started really kind of looking in the mirror and seeing that Bermuda was one of the best islands in the world. Mm-hmm. And the way our tourism, that's the business on these islands, tourism. And a lot of my cousins were cab drivers and others, and how they handle people. It was off the chain, man. And I just began to really, really start falling in love with the island. And now all my sisters lived there. My sister had grew up with me. She moved back. She was over in the States with me for a while in Pittsburgh, and she moved back. And I just miss my sisters so much, that I always want to go back. I'm upset now with the COVID because it just, there are rules on COVID to go to that island. I can't get stuck. You go over there, man, and you got any kind of negative stuff, you're locked in for 14 days, quarantine. Wow. And you got to pray you can get back over to here, to the States. So I'm not even messing with that, man. So to this thing gets a little bit more calmer all the way, But I love Bermuda, and I miss it a lot. And I still have a lot of family over there.
That's amazing. And speaking of COVID, that messed up a lot of things for a lot of people traveling and things like that. How has that affected you with your business and everything that you're doing?
Well, it hasn't affected the business somewhat because of what we're doing right now. You still can meet people on the Zoom, so it really hasn't slowed. And, I'm in media. Media doesn't slow down. It doesn't slow down. It's how you can grow the business. And I've been fortunate to be on the grind, try to make the HBCU Go TV go. And I was fortunate enough to have Byron Allen in October of last year buy my network, and keep me on board and still running. Well, that's a blessing in a disguise right there. Yes, sir. And that took a lot of stress alleviation away from me. And now, all I want to do is create this avenue to help historical Black colleges and universities get more exposure. Because my goal is to teach every African-American out here in the United States why they should be going to HBCUs and why are you going to PWIs, and quit telling me you're going there because you get a better job, because that's not the issue anymore. The issue they want to get in the door, you got to know somebody. You got to build up a track record, and be able to walk in the door. Having a resume is fine, but you got to know somebody to get a job in today's world. And if you think I'm wrong, then you're going to be standing at the door waiting.
Yes, sir. And speaking of PWIs and HBCUs, I attended Old Dominion University.
Okay.
So I did go to a PWI. And I was wondering, I was reading, and it said that you said that you gained a boldness at Central State University. How did, where did you gain this boldness from? Was it from the atmosphere? Was
It was from the atmosphere. I strongly believe, Clifton, the difference between a PWI and an HBCU is, how many close friends do you have already since you graduated from Old Dominion?
I have a quite few. I would say in the media community that I still keep in contact with. Mm-hmm. So I would say at least about 7 or 8, maybe.
See, you're saying 7 or 8,
mm-hmm.
and I'm saying hundreds, because of the fact that at an HBCU, the beauty of it that is different from PWI, you're not a number. You become a commodity. You become your own brand on the campus, and that you blend yourself into the other people who are around you, who want to gravitate to understand how you are rolling that brand. Because that's the goal of everyone who walks on that HBCU campus, is to build that brand. And you create a partnership with people over the years that you can't break. I mean, all the guys that played basketball at Central State, we're still very close. Not to say the least, all the people I've met, even alumni. And for me, a lot of people know me because of my mother, because my mother taught a lot of the students, the alumni. So I was Little Curtis when they were around. Yeah. But I built up enough track record in the community and outside of Central State that people see my name all over the place, from the media side, from BET to ESPN and on TV, that, more and more people are touching me because of it. And they understand that very clearly. I came out of Central State with a PE major, Clifton. I've never taught a day in my life. I've been in marketing since day one, 1978, day one. Never taught a day, And that's the big thing, man, that when you look in the mirror, that's the only thing that bothers me about, and don't get me wrong on this, how I say this, bothers me about students who go to the PWI because they can't look in the mirror and really appreciate what they built. Where I can look in the mirror and I can appreciate what I built, because it's helped me mold myself into the man I am today because of it, and that to me is the president of the university could come, walk right past me and say, "Hey, Curtis Symonds, how you doing?" How many times the president of the university come past you and said that? That's how it is. And that's a big difference, because now you're feeling, okay, now this man knows my name. That's a big thing. And the more and more you can become intertwined into the university, which I think HBCUs, now they got to do a better job now, because I think it's gone away a little bit, but they were very good at bringing you in, involving you, to the point you say, man, after about 4 years, I got to do something to help this college get back, And that's the thing I think that is the mission of HBCUs, in helping people understand who they are and becoming better people from it.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you think that, now when you say, one thing that I gained from, because I attended North Carolina Wesleyan College first. I played football there. And that was in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And, I didn't see my future going too far while I was there. So I transferred to ODU, where my mom works at.
Sure.
And mom was there also. Yeah. So when I got there, what I gained from my college experience was, like, I had to take the initiative to put myself out there, to find out more information about WODU studios, because a lot of times that's why I really found myself as far as the media world and starting my company. And it helped me, like I said, it helped me to take that initiative. So do you think that it's more on the student side to get out there, gain that experience, get into the community, or is it on the administrative side?
No, you just hit it. You just hit it right there on that. It's on the student side, man. You got to see the problem with to me in our culture is that we have too many followers. You look at the street today, man. Why are so many of our African American kids going to jail? Because they're following somebody. They're following somebody. Somebody said to you, hey, man, come ride with me to 7-Eleven. But sit out in the car. In the interim, he's walking inside, robbing the guy. Now, all of a sudden, he comes out the car, sits in the car, the man pulls up. You sitting there, hey, Mr. Police, I had nothing to do with it. I was just riding with my buddy. He walked inside and robbed him. I didn't. No. You're involved in this too, son. Both of you going. I don't know. So, no, I think it's all about you as the individual have to learn to push yourself a little bit at a PWI or an HBCU. It's all about you, the individual, what you want to get out of it. That's really key, Clifton. What do you want to get out of it? See, I knew when I walked out of Central State as a PE major, I had in my mind, man, I got to build a Curtis Symonds brand. And so when I got into the media business, that really opened my door, because then I started saying, okay, now I got to join some of these clubs that I think help me get my name out there. I got to be part of this, got to be part of that. Take the opportunity to speak when I can speak in debate, be on panels, do that, to where more people saw me in action. And it helped me spread my wings because of it, And then I took every opportunity when, I worked out of Chicago. So I took every opportunity when at that time, my first president that I dealt with, Bill Grimes at ESPN, every time that cat rolled in town, me and him sat down and talked, because he was a big basketball nut. So we talked basketball, and we had many dinners together just talking basketball.
Yeah.
But I got to know him, he got to know me. And it wasn't like I couldn't sit down across the table and be intimidated by him because he's the president, I'm a director.
Mm-hmm.
No. He puts his pants on just like I do.
Yes, sir.
And that's really what you got to understand. But a lot of our folks don't understand that. And see, the other thing that's really interesting to me is that we as African Americans, goes back to slavery days. We have always known how to operate around white people. Always known. Be in a meeting, talking to them. We know how to. It's always the flip to watch white people be in a room with all black people. They don't know how to operate because they've never had to do that. Now, how many friends that you know that were white, if they hung around you long enough, they almost start talking like you because they wanted to be in the mix. After a while, they didn't even see themselves being white. They felt they were like, hey, man, I'm just as black as you are. Because we accepted them in the group, talking us back, learn how to hang, But when they first walk in, they're very uncomfortable. And then everybody looking around the room like, well, what's this white guy doing in the room? What's he doing? Why is he here? Because we're thinking he's spying on some guy and he got another idea. What's he doing? Until you get a comfort level. Then it changes, But that's some of the things that we've got to learn to go by and ignore. And say, hey, you want to be in the room? Let him be in the room. That's how we are. We're in the room. Do yourself a favor, man. Just check it out sometime. Whenever you have some time for lunch, look around the room. And if you see a room of executives, see how many tables you can look at where you'll see these kind of options. An all-white table with all men, one black woman. An all table with all white, one black guy. And all of them in both scenarios, They're trying to blend in because they have to in order to hopefully think they can grow in the business. Because if they don't, they try to put themselves on the sideline, they get isolated big time. But that's the way the system rolls.
Trying to meet the status quo of having a Black person in there.
Ain't no question. That's why I have a big problem with the word diversity. Because I don't believe America really believes diversity. You know, when Martin Luther King said we all need to learn to live together, that's a major statement in today's world because we struggle with that mentality. You know, and case in point right now is the Brian Flores case in the NFL. You know, I mean, here's a man. I mean, why has he got to lie? Why has he got to lie, man? You don't have to lie. He's sitting in the room and he's saying, I saw John Elway and this guy come in the room, and I know for a fact they were drunk the night before. Now, John Elway and them, to save their faces, say, oh, no, that wasn't the case. We were flying in from another meeting. And it's 2 against 1. So it's his word against them. Who you think gonna get a nod? At the end of the day, they are.
Mm-hmm.
They are. You know, and then he's trying to put it out there against the owners. It's the owners the ones that control it because got this, man. It's the money. You know, Roger Goodell, the president of the NFL, he works for those guys, so he can't buck the system. You know, all he can do is say, "Hey guys, we need to get better." And how are you better with 9 openings right now and 5 of them already filled with white coaches?
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? And see, my struggle I think that we have out here in today's world is that the African-American, Black, female or male, in any job opportunity, very hard for us to get recycled. A white person, they get recycled quickly. They can lose a job tomorrow, a big job, and also you look up and say, oh man, they just hired such and such. He was over such and such.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get that second shot, man.
That privilege.
Second shot.
Privilege.
Yeah. And you know, the culture is, well, we gave Clifton a chance. He didn't cut it. So you can't come to us and say we didn't give him a chance. We tried. And then it just kind of gets swept under the carpet. At the end of the day, gets lost. You know? And this case of Brian Flores right now, in my opinion, is going to be another one that's going to get swept under the carpet because he can't control the owners. Goodell can't control the owners. And everybody's going to have some kind of line. I mean, look at Dan Snyder here in my backyard. He's got all these cheerleaders and employees now giving allegations about all the things he did. And he's sitting there saying, haven't done any of them. I don't know what you're talking about. They're showing Congress documentation things going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But he got billions and billions of dollars, man. The worst they could do to him is take his franchise away. That's the worst, but they ain't gonna stop him. They ain't gonna stop him. If it's us, man, they try to put the hammer on us.
Try to shut us down.
Ain't no question.
Mm-hmm.
When you put a man in jail like Michael Vick for dogs, Clifton,
and they still bring him.
He didn't kill dogs.
Yeah.
Okay? We got policemen shooting people and walking.
Yeah.
But you put a man in jail for dogs and destroyed his reputation. Destroyed it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never be the same. Because he'll be always looked at as the guy who set this up to have the dog fight and had dogs killed. I don't condone it, but I think it was wrong for him going to jail for it in that kind of case. Especially when you look at all the other stuff people are walking from.
Yeah.
It affect us. You know, and could just, the man says, oh, no, the case isn't that strong. Boo it. Shouldn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So to not to cut off that very important conversation that we're having just about diversity in America and how we're treated and how privileged Caucasian people are, I wanted to switch the topic to your book.
Sure.
Never a gamble, always a sure bet.
Let me put it up there for you. I don't market this thing enough, but this is definitely the book that everybody should go read.
Yes, sir.
Read that. Because in the book, I try to highlight, number one, my upbringing at Wilberforce University and what the word gamble meant to me as I broke it out letter by letter of opportunities and things that built through my upbringing. And then I molded that into going to an HBCU and taking that same word gamble with different meanings of what it stood for me, going to an HBCU. And I think it's a great educational book that if you really read through the lines of it, you'll see where I'm coming from on things that you gotta do to appreciate who you are, Clifton. That's what it's about. It's about, I appreciate where I came from, Wilberforce, Ohio. I appreciate what Central State did for me because it built me into the man I am today. And I don't back down from nobody with that. Because it was truly, truly, in both situations, an experience of a lifetime that I never look back on.
Good. So it was impact. It had an impact on you.
I think it had an impact on me.
Yeah.
And I've had several people read the book and jump all over me because I haven't marketed strong enough to get it out there where it should be selling.
Yeah, it's definitely a very very good book. And I quote something that you said in there. You said motivation, when coupled with goals and ambition, produces a result that cannot be accomplished otherwise. I looked at what motivated me through the years, and I found that there were 4 specific areas that motivated me to get up every day and get it done every day. These 4 areas are crucial to anyone seeking to have a better outcome in life. And those four areas were finances, family, future, and faith. Could you talk more about the faith part and how that helps you?
Well, let me go back on another one. Let me go back on, I'm gonna hit faith, but let me go back. I think family is the key to life, man.
Yes, sir.
I think we get all of us. You don't have to be black. I think it's in all cultures, black, white, Hispanic, Mexican, what. Family is the key to life because what happens is in the African-American community, we tend to get lost with our family. And especially when you get into the corporate American world, because you're molded to think, hey, Billy, as a man, I got to be the provider. But what you lose track on, including myself at a younger age, it took me time until I got a little older. Luckily for me, I have a wife of 39 years who helped me understand it better, is that family is the key to life, man. If you don't have Clifton in your family,
mm-hmm.
you can't survive, man. Because at the end of the day, I don't care how many years you work for a job, the job can slip away. Family doesn't slip away. Family will always have your back. And family will do whatever needed possible to make sure you survive.
Yes, sir.
And we lose vision of that, especially African-American men. We lose vision of that. We're so caught up in wanting to get to that high level, wanting to drive the Mercedes of the world, wanting to have a big time house. Material, man. It's about family. And when you mold that together and really understand that piece better, we can have a better world.
Mm-hmm.
We can have a much better world. But on top of family, Clifton, you gotta have faith, man. I mean, people say to me all the time, man, you know, how did you do this HBCU go through in Byron? I mean, I know you've been grinding on this thing like for 11 years trying to get this thing off the ground. I said, look, man, I had faith. I had faith and I had a vision that somebody down the road was going to understand what I was trying to do and help me out. Didn't know what that help out meant, but I did feel within my faith and what God has instilled me over time is that if you believe in something, Clifton, the ending will come somewhere for you in the right way. But you can't stop believing, man. Can't stop believing.
Yes, sir.
You know, and that's where a lot of us tend to shift off of that. We lose faith in things. We lose faith in people.
Yeah.
We lose faith in our families at times.
Yeah.
Because it's something small. But family and faith runs, to me, side by side, Clifton. Because I tell friends of mine now, I'm 66 years old, man. My wife sacrificed everything she had for me because she saw my vision.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to be in the cable industry. So she had a good little business going in Chicago. She dropped everything when I decided to move to DC.
Wow.
In order for me to live my dream. And she raised my 3 sons. That's a lot, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot, man. You know, and so her career got stopped because of me. Now we've had a good life and still doing decent. But that's what I'm talking about in the word family.
Yeah.
Because the family part was so strong. We've had our downs. And because my wife is so strong, she's uplifted me. When she could have said, you know what, I'm done. Let me get out of here. Let me find a brother doing a little bit better than this. I can't go through this no more. But my wife stood with me, stood tall, constant. He kept in my mind, you can get it done, believed in me. And that's what you got to have, man.
Yes, sir.
You got to have that family, Clifton. We lose that, especially in our community, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mother passed away a year ago at 93. And we had a lot of dog fights over the years. Because she had a way, I had a way. And I was very similar to her. So we bumped heads because we were so similar in our thinking. But the one thing that I always take away from her is she taught me a lot of lessons, Clifton. Taught me a lot of lessons, man. At a younger age, I wasn't paying attention to her. But at an older age, I saw what she was talking about. You know, the blinders came off.
Yeah.
And I understood where she was trying to go in certain conversations where I thought she was nuts when she was talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't ready for it. Didn't understand it. Didn't appreciate it. You know. So I turned my head. But you can't, man. And you gotta believe the most important thing is family. So like when I speak, when I get my Hall of Fame award in April, I'm gonna spend half my time on my presentation about family. You know, I'm gonna thank people, I'm gonna thank the organization, I'm gonna thank the honorees, some of me, but I'm gonna really talk about family. Because we get caught up, man, in this corporate world of man, that we think in our minds, we're invincible.
Mm.
No one can beat Father Time, Clifton. Can't beat Father Time. Father Time will come in and knock you out and you be saying, damn. He's undefeated. So when a man comes in and says, hey, Clifton, it's been nice, you've been working for me, but hey, you know what? Gotta go, man. You know, we gotta trim down a little bit. And you're like, damn, man, I gave you 15 years. You know, I did this, and now you let me go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because of you, Clifton, we had to do this, . You always got to look around, man, and understand There's no job for life. Family's job is life.
Amen.
Think about that. There's no job for life.
Mm-hmm.
The family's job for life, if you're working it right.
Yes, sir.
Faith is for life. Lose faith, you can go anywhere. That's what it's about, man. It's a simple one, too.
Yeah. And speaking on family, I understand what you're saying because recently, you know, I just been understanding the importance of family and seeing the support that I have for my family. And, you know, with my family, we, on my mom's side and on my dad's side, you know, one thing my dad did for me was he always took me to Petersburg. That's where his mom and his dad, you know, I always went up to Petersburg every summer, whether it was, you know, it didn't even have to be the summertime. I was going to see my grandma. I was going to see my granddad.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to see my cousins. And, you know, we had a blast. And to this day, I can call my cousins to this day and they'll support me and they'll talk to me.
Yeah.
And, you know, even on my mom's side, you know, the portion that I see, we have, you know, family gatherings. And when you have family, you know, that support that you have for them and you know that connection that you have with them, it helps you. It even drives you to do better, to do more. Yeah. And I can only imagine when I do have my own family, when I am raising my own kids and I have my wife, how much more drive that'll give me and how much more ambition that'll give me. So, you know, everything that you're saying is, you know, it's a blessing. And the faith part of it, you know, just having faith and believing in who you are, believing in what you do. If you don't believe, then, you know, that's where that hope comes in as well. What are you hoping for? Because that's what motivates me is that hope to see that future that I want. And if you listening to this interview right now and you haven't pulled up another link to go get this book, y'all need to go get this book right now, because speaking of hope and motivation, I want to talk about, you know, we probably already know the answer to that. What is it that motivates you? I'm quite sure. Is it your family?
Definitely my family, but your family number one, but I'm just the kind of guy that, you know, on top of that, I would say I want to try to get better every day.
Yeah.
See, I mean, like my young kids in basketball ask me every day, Coach S, why do you do this anymore? I said, you know what? You know why I do it? Because I learn from you every day. I'm trying to always be better.
Yeah.
And if you don't come in, Clifton, with an open eye to try to understand what's around you, then you're making a mistake in life, man. You know, too many people get caught up saying it's my way or no way. Well, then you're okay, because you can't grow. But if you learn to intertwine what young people say, learn to intertwine what your forefathers are saying, and hear them out, you can learn something. Because there's definitely some meaning out there that you can get better at. But in all aspects of it, you got to work at it. It's not just handed out. And that's where a lot of people lose traction. They think it's going to be handed out. Knowledge is not handed out. Knowledge is something that you earn, something that you want, something that you strive for, something that you want to get better at, you know, because you want to have the knowledge to be able to communicate and articulate in the right way. That's the drive.
Sir. Yes, sir. Man, that knowledge is
Big time.
powerful, very powerful.
Big time. It's like every summer, started about 7-8 years ago, we hooked up my basketball coach, guy I coached with, one of his former students in high school, with the Maryland architect. His partner was Northern Cheyenne Indian. So they asked us about doing a basketball camp in Northern Cheyenne, for the Northern Cheyenne in Montana. So we've been doing that for the last it should be almost like 10 years now. COVID put us on freeze last year. But the beauty of that, Clifton, is I got an opportunity to sit down with the Northern Cheyenne elders who educated me on being an Indian and the life of an Indian, which we think we got it tough. Man, there's no comparison to what these guys have gone through. No comparison. We have no clue. The books the American books that they teach us, like Black history, are so underfed, it's ridiculous, man. They don't tell the real story because they don't talk to the real people.
Yeah.
They tell us what they want us to hear.
Making up the story.
Exactly. So the elders were telling me about the real Little Bighorn and how it was conceived back in the day. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable because you don't find it in the books.
Do you have any? Do you remember any other information that they may have given you that you could just?
Well, the biggest information that blew me away was how Bighorn trapped Custer. Custer thought he was in total control and had no idea. And they had mapped out the plan the night before. Bighorn had. He saw it in sleep. Still drawn inside a mountain up there in Montana. And Bighorn was so much smarter than Custer on how he had Custer all the way circled in and had all the Indians around him, but Custer couldn't get out.
Wow.
And he put a bluff on him that was incredible. And Custer bit the bluff. And then all of a sudden, he was in the middle and couldn't get out. And they showed me all that.
That sounds like some good strategic.
Oh man, it was knowledge on top of knowledge, Clifton. Yeah. Knowledge on top of knowledge, man.
Speaking of strategic war tactics, do you play chess?
No, I don't. I'm not a good chess person or cards or any of that, man. I'm not good at all.
Them board games, you don't do too much of that.
No, I'm not a board game guy, man.
No.
I'm just a sports fanatic and a marketing guy. That's what I do.
Yeah. Okay. So, speaking of sports, I just want to just to kind of get some fun in there right quick. I want to ask you 2 questions. So, you get the first pick in the pickup game. And you have to choose between Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan.
I'm taking Michael any day of the week. That's a quick one for me.
Okay.
Because, I argue with our young cats at practice all about it. You can't compare none of those guys. People try to compare Dr. J, Michael, Kobe, now LeBron. 4 different eras, man. Of greatness.
Yeah.
4 different eras of greatness.
Yeah.
And so you can't, I argue them every day about who they think is the best ball ever played the game. And it's hard. And at this point, you got to look at Michael, but see what the person that really gets lost in it, that I still think is of all time, is Bill Russell. Because Bill Russell got 11 rings. And he was an undersized big man. He played center at 6'9". 6'9", 6'10". But he was an undersized big man in the league.
And those rings speak volumes.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. There's no question. I think that Michael, when you look at Kobe's game and Michael's game, if you really put them 2 together, It's interesting to see how Father Time bit them both. When both of them came in the league, they were extremely athletic. I mean, they could jump from the foul line to the rim in a hot second. But then as they both got past the 30s, they made the game come to them. And then it was like, I'm under control here. So let me kind of slow my game down, turn my game into a backpedal, where I'm coming at the guy sideways, but I always get my back to him, and I know how to fade off him. I still get him a jumper. I still give him an in and out and rise on my jumper. But my real game was showing you how to, and Kobe copied Michael's style. I mean, his whole game was his interpretation of Mike.
Yeah, you can definitely see, look at the picture, yeah.
Yeah, his shoulders with his back to the shoulders to you, you know. But Mike was just like that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I look at it.
Okay.
You know, that's how I look at it.
All right, and this one right here. You get now the same, so you get the third pick, and you get to choose between Stephen Curry and Ray Allen. Who are you going with and why?
I go with Steph now.
Okay.
That's a good comparison. Steph just has a little bit more in his game than Ray has. Ray was a great spot shooter.
Yes,
Ray could really get that thing up off his spot. But Steph's got a lot more to his game. He got the handle now. He can get to the rack at ease. His range is a whole lot different than
crazy, yeah.
His range is stupid. I mean, what he did the other night, they played the other night. I mean, he just started pulling stuff up a step past half court. Yeah. It was ridiculous. You know, I mean, his range is just off the cuff. Now, what you can say about Ray, between Seattle, Boston, and finally at the Heat, he hit some of the toughest shots in the business to win games. You know, I mean, the Heat would have never won that game if he had hit that shot against San Antonio. That's one of the most incredible shots in basketball.
Running them baselines and hitting them corner threes. He's known for that.
Yeah. Ray was tough. But I would go with Steph if I had to put those two in comparison.
Okay. So these two names right here, I'm quite sure they resonate with you well. Jeremy Roach and Trevor Kills. Can you tell us about them two?
Two of my best kids, man. Two of the best kids that I've enjoyed coaching for 4 years. I mean, I miss those guys big time. I hope they have a big game tonight against North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Both of them, man, have tremendous basketball IQ. And I hope, I'm praying that both of them live their dream by getting a shot in the league because they both deserve it. And I think if they continue to work on the games, that it will happen. I don't know who will go first. Might be Trevor, might be Jer, I don't know. But I think they both will get a shot because number one, they got the Duke background, which is big. Yes, and if you look at the history of Duke guards in the NBA, there hasn't been a lot of Duke guards in the NBA that's made it. Now, if you look at the history, you know, Bobby Hurley probably, before his accident, probably had the best shot, you know, to last a little longer. But that's going to be interesting to see. Because Duke has as you watch the game tonight, it has a very funny offense that the guard play is not as big as a lot of other places. You know, I mean, the Gates game, as you know, because it's all guard play, man. You know, if you're down in the paint, you better get off the glass because there ain't going to be a lot of touches you're going to get where you can work with it. Just ain't happening. That's just the name of the game in basketball now. But I think they got a great opportunity to get both of them to get in the league. You know, so I'm looking forward to following them for sure.
Definitely. And I watched a couple of their highlights too. Definitely two great ball handlers, aggressive, taking to the rack. And they definitely, like you said, you was around them, so they definitely.
Oh, they were special, man. I mean, I knew when I first saw Jeremy years ago. His uncle actually coaches on our girls' team. Mm-hmm. And he showed me the video. He said, "Curtis, I'm surprised you're not looking at my nephew." I said, "Who's your nephew?" Jeremy Roach. So he showed me the video. Mm-hmm. These kids going up, 8th grade, grabbing the rim, getting the ball over the rim, easy. Wow. I'm like, damn, how big is he? Like 5'10", 5'11". Mm-hmm. I said, he got bounced like that? So we got him in, man. He went up against one of our All-Americans at the time, B.J. King, that was McDonald's All-American. Just a pickup game, 8th grade, tried to dunk it on him. I said, that guy needs to come to PVI for sure. He got my kind of attitude. He's tough. Yeah. And then Trevor, when he was a freshman, number one, the biggest thing I always remember out of him, I coached during the summertime. I coached varsity, but during the summertime, I coached our JV Summer League. Mm-hmm. And we've never won the Summer League until Trevor showed up as a freshman. Mm-hmm. And he was like a Magic Johnson. He's played all 5 positions for me, getting it done. I mean, in fact, it was so outrageous at the championship game. The other coach was hollering at me like, "Why is he playing in the game? He's a varsity guy. Why is he playing?" I said, "He's a freshman. We have all our freshmen play in the Summer League." Mm-hmm. And we won it. And then he said to me after that, when we started practice, he said, "Coach S, I'm going to start off 4 years. I'm getting somebody's job." Yeah. And he did. And he did. And he improved every year. He wanted to get better. And that's what I love about it.
That's great. That motivation, hard work.
They both are gym rats, man. They both are big time gym rats. I mean, they worked out a lot with me. They love the gym. That's why I'm just praying for both of them that they get a chance to live their dream and play that next level.
And that's what it takes. So just to so we get everything in, I want to get to your BET experience just right quick, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about the HBCU Go.TV platform. So you began working for BET 8 years after the network first aired.
Yeah.
You expect BET to be as substantial and successful as it is today?
I didn't know where it was going at the time. Because I just thought I had hit the wall at ESPN. I was 32 years old. I had tried for a VP slot, got caught up in the politics at ESPN. Everybody there was young. I just didn't see myself growing. And Bob called me out the blue one day and said, "Listen, man, I'm looking for somebody to run all my affiliate marketing. Can you help me? Can you help me find somebody?" Now I hung up the phone after talking to him. I said, "You know what? Why isn't that me?" So I called him back. I said, "Bob, let's sit down and talk."
Yeah. And
we talked. And the one thing that friends of mine in the industry had tried to warn me about and say, "Oh man, Bob's a chauvinist. He likes to control you, blah, blah, blah." But nothing like that, man. We've had a great relationship. In my 14 years there, and still have a great relationship.
Yeah.
And he let me do what I need to do, run my business. And I remember the candid line he said to me, he said, "Curtis, look at affiliate marketing as its own business. You're the president. It's your job to get it done." And that's how we made it right. And I think one of the biggest things that the industry had to water through and understand that the first early part they were caught up in is that Black entertainment television was for everybody instead of thinking it's just for Black people.
Yeah.
And once we were able to start convincing markets about the crossover, and they started picking up and seeing more white people watching BET, mm-hmm. That's what started really, really opening up the doors and really start getting cable operators to say, "Well, I can put BET on in Wyoming. Makes sense."
Yeah.
And so that was a real eye opener for a lot of people.
So from hearing that, you played a major role in BET's success, and you helped them build their subscribers base from 18.8 million to 65 million homes. Now, were you expecting to see this type of growth? And how did you gain BET 46.2 million subscribers in the amount of time you worked there?
Well, you got to remember, in 1988, Clifton, one of the things that BET had not cracked real well with, it was a big opportunity. The urban markets were just starting to get wired, like DC, Atlanta, New York, LA, and they were only in a small pocket of homes in each of those markets. Once everybody got built out, well, that added a lot more homes to the picture. And then it started just spreading with the word and the programming that made more and more people want it. And you got to remember, back in that time, man, believe it or not, and that's why the word racism will never go away, people still looked at us as in 1990 and in the mid-90s as this niche service only targeted to Black folks, where no, it was more than that. And the more we were able to show them that, and more people were coming to the table saying, I want my BET. And they weren't Black. Doors were opening up.
Wow.
And that's where it started to grow. That's where it started to go. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because we're a culture that everybody wants to touch, man.
Yeah. And you see that nowadays with we'll come out with something, and next thing you know, somebody doing what they just seen, copying what we did.
Yeah.
So during the 13 years that you were at BET, how did the people around you make you better?
And the one thing you learn when you manage, and I've been managing quite a long time, is you got to put good people around you. You got to make sure that they believe in you. And my people saw the work I put in. I'm a grinder, Clifton. Say what I'm doing is HBCU go thing. My people saw me working 10, 12 hours a day, traveling here, there. And, I do nobody like to travel with me to meetings because I can do 3 meetings in one day. Traveling to one city in the morning, one city by noon, one city in the evening. And they're like, oh, Kurt, that's too much, man. I can't travel like that, But if you're grinding, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And so my people appreciate it. But I was fortunate to have some really good, talented young folks who believed in the vision of Bob Johnson, that believed in my vision of selling the network. And when you get good people around you, man, you ain't got to be no rocket science. And I tell people, and I'll mention it when I give my award, is that I had some great people who made me. I was fortunate. They believed in me. They worked hard for me. They always talk about, Kurt, I could use a couple more dollars. Hey, I know, but right now we got to grind, But that's what you got to have, man. You got to have people who believe in you.
Yeah. And my next question, you talk about how, people seeing your vision of selling the business, and I'm quite sure that was a major change for people. So my question to you is, do you believe that change is good?
Well, I think that it all depends on what kind of change you bring to the table. Because imagine when I came to BET, we had like 30 employees. When I left BET in 01, that was 88. When I left BET in 01, we were over 200 employees. Well, what happens is you go from a small network to a very big network in communication internally. So everybody not catching everything like it was in the old days, when first time. Because you could have a meeting with one group and you're covering everybody. Where now it's different pockets of groups you're trying to have meeting with and try to bring everything together.
Yeah.
But as we grew, it's like anything else. Everybody takes their hit as you grow. Because you have a lot of miscommunication, a lot of people not in the right meetings, just little things to getting it done. But the success of the network is all about the people. People who are around us, they were special. They were special, man.
That's great. So we're about to wrap it up soon, but
Okay.
I wanted to throw one word out there to you, and you put it in your book, respect. What does respect? Why is that important to you, and why? And I guess I would ask for the youth, why is it important to respect your elders, respect the people that you come in contact with and that you network with?
Well, I think that you gotta learn, and that comes from how you grow up. The one thing that I was taught early on that is respect people. You want to be treated at any age like, you want to treat other people the same way.
Yes, sir.
Fairly. So respect to me is a major word for me, because as I meet people day to day, I'm going to respect the people who respect me. If you try to slam me, I'm not going to respect
you. Yes, sir.
If you try to work with me and you try to understand where I'm coming from, even though you might agree to disagree, I respect that. That's life.
Mm-hmm.
But respect is all about understanding and being able to put things in the right perspective that you balance it. Doesn't always have to be I'm right. Doesn't always have to be I'm wrong.
Yes, sir.
But you got to learn how to respect people. And I guess for me personally, where that stands for and where it came so strong in my book is because I respect elders so much. When I was in my mid-30s, man, I was always trying to talk to people 50, 60, and 70s. I respected what they brought to the table because they've been there, Clifton. I'm coming to ladder. They're fighting Father Time. I'm trying to get my foot in the door because I know by the time I come 50, I'm fighting Father Time.
Yes, sir.
So I need to understand what are they doing to get there. You see what I'm getting at?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
And that's where, to me, that respect level is something. Like I respect my young kids. They play basketball. I coach basketball for. Because it's hard on what they do right now. They're going to a private school. Some of them got to get up at 6 a.m. School starts at 7:40. They're in school all day. Then we start practice at either some days at 3:30, some days at 5. I mean, they're in school almost 8-9 hours a day. Yes, and you got to play at a high level, at our level. So to see them fight that for 4 years, man, that's awesome. Because it takes a special person. Not everybody can cut it, man.
They do.
Not everybody can cut it. So you got to respect. You got to respect a kid that puts the work in. And it shows at the end of the day because 9 times out of 10, they get a decent scholarship.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So that word is a very strong word to me at the end of the day, because it means a lot in the way of how you see yourself down the road.
And respect can get you far down that road.
No question. And it starts really respecting yourself. That's what it starts at.
Respect yourself. Yes, sir.
And if you get there, then that's the name of the game, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I just want to wrap it up. I got 2 more questions.
Sure.
Now, let me just do one. So, you, Clint Evans, and Kurt Symonds.
Yeah.
Now, this was the collaboration that came together for HBCUGO.TV. How did that collaboration come together?
Well, majority of those guys all work with me at BT.
Okay.
And when Clint worked underneath me in the Philly area. He was my VP of Philly marketing in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Kurt was running for BET, all of our sports stuff. So they came with me. Clint and I worked on a business plan. Kurt came in to help us program. That's what he does. And just stuck with it. They were like glue. And we went through some ups and downs.
Yeah.
And again, there were times when I know they felt like throwing in the towel.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody had to keep a side gig to keep money in their pocket because we didn't have no money coming in. But I kept telling them, like, look, man, hang in there. Something's going to happen. Stay with me.
Yes,
Believe him. And they did. And, they're really happy now because everything has worked out in the right way.
Yes, sir. And we see that with everything that's happening with HBCU Go.TV and how, if y'all don't know, Allen Media Group acquiring the free streaming service HBCU Go.TV.
Uh-huh.
And last question. Now, with that happening, could you tell us, like, the many platforms that the network HBCU Go.TV can be found on? And will those platforms be expanding now?
Yes. We plan right now 2 things. To the listening audience, please check out our website at hbcugo.tv.
Yes, sir.
And when you go to our website, on the website also is you'll see a live button. If you hit that live button, you can see the network. What's going on in the network right now? It's adjacent to what we have running. The network is running on 2 channels, 2 apps rather, Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. And then through our partnership with Allen Media Group, we are now on Local Now, which is another channel underneath Allen Media Group, Sports.tv, and Fast TV. So we are out there now. And the goal of the network, for those who are listening, is really trying to get the universities to help us program this network. We're going to every university and asking them to help us create content for it, because the network is all about the students and the alumni. We're still going to have programming on there for the alumni. But we like to have students because there's so many talented students at these universities who their craft cannot be seen. We want to be the ones that are opening up that door so the craft can, because you want to be the next Will Packer, for example, coming out of, FAMU and have an opportunity to show your wares.
Yes, sir. So
that's what we're all about.
And if you haven't checked out that platform, make sure you check it out. Some things that interested me was the Black College Quiz that they have up there, hosted by Nephew Tommy.
Right.
Live stream sports talk. They got social justice news, film and TV, and also the latest news. So make sure you check that out. Go to hbcugo.tv. And also your Instagram name. They can follow you up there, correct?
Yes. Just go right underneath. Again, it is hbcugo.tv something. They thought go.tv, it should pop up on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you follow Mr.
I should know that in my head, but I'm not a social media guy, so I apologize on that one.
And you can follow Mr. Curtis at HBC on Instagram, HBCU _Curtis Symonds.
Yes.
CurtisSymonds. We, Liberating Intelligence, Parable Kingdom LLC, we appreciate you coming on this platform to give us your knowledge, what you've experienced, and we know and thank you for the blessing that you have shown us for pursuing the freedom that you have and allowing your knowledge to take you to higher heights and to take you on your journey. So with that being said, Mr. Symonds, we appreciate you. And we hope you enjoy your time on Liberating Intelligence as well.
No problem. Clifton, thank you very much for having me, man. Anytime in the future, buzz me. I appreciate it, man. Let's stay in contact.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Will do.
All right, man. Take care,
Definitely.
Clifton.
You too.
Later.